Let me just say this to you, yeah. I've just wrote a book, yeah, Harmed and Dangerous, and I've been in prison, don't know, what, 30 years of my life, which is a long, long time. And everybody's talking about this thing that's supposed to have happened, I don't know, years and years and years ago. What I was like 21, 20, something like that, yeah. And, and you're talking about 50 years ago. 50 years ago is a long time, yeah. But anyway, so if this happened, why wasn't I ever arrested? Why wasn't I ever bashed up by the old man? Why didn't the old woman ever do nothing to me, you know? Why did Christine, my ex-wife, yeah, have my child? Why did I adopt her daughter as my own child and give her everything that she could possibly want? Why did I do all that, yeah? Why did I, as I say, why did she have my son if I'm supposed to be this person that's done what she says I've done, yeah? Because it's a load of lies, mate. It's a load of lies. You got to look at it like this. Anyway, let me tell you a little story, yeah? And, it was in my book. I got it took out, because I thought, nah, I wouldn't do that to her, yeah? But I'm going to tell you a little story, yeah? I was in Maidstone prison, waiting to get home leave. And I got my home leave, which I was really happy about. So, and what it was, before I went away, I lived in a place called Dabbs Hill in Norfolk. And this guy that lived across the road from us, called Bob Hedger, he was a builder, decorator, and he had a wife and a child, and she'd come from Grimsby. Yeah, she's really, really pretty girl, a tall girl. And anyway, he'd done lots of stuff in my place. I went away. Anyway, I went away. A few things happened, and when I come out of prison, I went to see my kids. I was on home leave, yeah. And she lived in Acton, just off Pope's Lane, in these flats that had just been built. So I got hold of her and I said, "Look, can I see the kids?" Yes, you can. They're young. They're only young. I don't know, 6, 7, or something like that. Maybe a little bit younger or a bit older. I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway, so I take the kids home all day. We go out around my mum's and this, that, and the other. Everything's nice. I ain't seen my kids for years, yeah. So it's now bedtime, and because it's bedtime, I've only got one bed, big double bed, and my kids I dress them all, put their pajamas on, bits and pieces, and I've got my pajamas, and my boy, for some reason, we're sitting on the bed talking, and my boy see my hairy legs. And he started saying, "Oh, Bob's got hairy legs like that." I said, "All right, mate." And it got worse and worse and worse of things that he was telling me that I couldn't believe. It, broke my heart. And being the person I am, this Bob Hedger that she was with, yeah, this is supposed to be my building mate, yeah. So anyway, I wanted to kill him for what he'd done, but what my little boy told me. Don't forget, I was on home leave. I was on a big sentence, yeah? I've just finished a big sentence to get home leave, yeah? So rather than me do what I've got to do, I thought the best thing to do is to go to the police station. These are young kids, yeah? Go to a police station. So I went to Ealing Common Police Station with my kids. I explained everything to them. I think I went by myself, I went with someone else, not quite sure who it was anyway. So the person who was, when we drove me there. So anyway, we explained everything to the police officers, and they got hold of some people from the hospital, welfares and what other people, yeah, and who know how to talk to kids. So they put me in another room with whoever. So it's my daughter and my son. That's my Jay and my other daughter, yeah, Jamie. But they come out to me and say, "Look, there's nothing to worry about as far as Jamie's concerned, the daughter. There's nothing. She doesn't." They give my boy and Jamie dolls, yeah. They give them these dolls, and they're professional people. They know how to go about it. They give the kids dolls and ask the kids what happens, and it was my boy, my son Jay, He's now 40 odd years of age, yeah? And it was him that done something to the dolls that made this Bob Hedger to get arrested. So he went on the run sort of thing, they're looking for him, went on the run, yeah? And they got him at Hanger Lane Station. So evidently they give him a few digs here and there. And now I got back to prison, but they give me another home leave because of what happened. But anyway, they take him and they remand him, take him to court, magistrate's court, and they remand him in custody for what he did to these kids, or to one of the children, which is my son. So I got to go back to prison, yeah? But whilst I'm back, I haven't got long left. I come out and he's in the scrubs, and my ex-old woman, she got in bail. This is Christine. She got this Bob Hedger bail. And whilst he was on bail, she married this geezer. I'm not quite sure if she married him in the scrubs or married him when he came out. But she married this geezer. That's the police, the welfare and everything said that he's been mucking about with my boy, my son, yeah? But she married him. She then told me years later that, I don't know, it's like a big old thing. Well, I don't know. Anyway, forget about what she told me. She married him, yeah? And then he had to go to court. But obviously she married him because the reason being they told her that if he gets a guilty, which it looks like he is, they're going to take my kids from her, you know? And she was a good mother, but how can a good mother let the kids do that? Anyway. So his eyes were Crown Court, yeah? So anyway, the police get hold of me, call me over, said, right, he's in court, let me explain to you what's been going on. Your ex-wife's been getting up and saying, look, there's no way that I would marry this man if I knew that he was sexually abusing my children. She's very good, my ex-old woman, crying. She could cry now until doomsday, mate, and she'd make you feel sorry for her. And then she said, look, he would never harm them kids. He loves them kids. Yes, he's got a little kink, a little thing. He wears my knickers and my bra and all that, Wears her knickers and his bra. But what come out in court was that evidently that he used to pull my boy into the bedroom and make my boy do things to him, Mate, it make me cringe. So anyway, the police, these two I billed from Southall Police Station, was outside Isleworth Crown Court, and they called me in. He said, look, Ray, they told me what happened about him being dressed up in women's clothes and bits and pieces, and the kids being dragged into the bedroom. There's no way he's not going to get a guilty, mate. But you've got to look at it, they might say the kids. I'm gutted, really, but there's no way he's not going to get guilty. But because of what she done, she married him on bail and got him bail. The jury, somehow swayed the jury, and he got not guilty. So I'm telling you the truth, he got not guilty. The police called me over and told me that he got not guilty, and they said they couldn't believe it themselves, yeah? They was really, really shocked. And it made me cry, man. And being who I am, and they couldn't do nothing about it, what happened, I went to harm this geezer, bad. She then called the police on me, and the police knocked my door down in the morning. They then come up, handcuffed me, tried to handcuff me at the back of my back, and I wouldn't allow it. It was a big lump anyway, wouldn't allow it. They took me to the car and then told me to lay face down in the back seat, and they were going to sit on my back, try to kill me or something. And I went, no, you're not doing that, mate. And I went mad. They couldn't put the cuff behind my back. Anyway, they eventually pulled up in a van, loads of them. One jumped out of the van, hit me across the head with the trunks, and it was like being hit with a child, from a child. I then went to Southall Police Station. They parked the van outside outside the police station, around the back, not taking me into the cells until they had more help come, yeah? And they took me into the cells. I stayed overnight. In the morning, the two officers, the two CID, that nicked this geezer, right, for sexual abuse to my child or whatever, they told me, get your gear and fuck off. He's guilty, Ray. Get your gear and go, mate. Fuck off. And I went. They let me go. They didn't charge me or nothing. And I was supposed to have had a gun and everything. Yeah, just go. He's guilty as they come, mate. You know what I mean? So I'm gutted, but I've got to leave it out now because they're on my case. They let me go, yeah? And I'm very lucky to get out of there. So me and my mate, Alec Jones, we're driving through Ealing, yeah? And it's a bit block packed up, so we've done a left at the Common, and then you do a right, goes around the back by Ealing Common Station, the front of it. So we went round the back. It's like it's madness. It's like you know, something. It was like karma sort of thing, yeah. So we're going down the back, and we stopped on Uxbridge Road to do a left, going past the Ealing Broadway Station on the right, yeah. But as we stopped, this Bob Hedger, who got not guilty, was walking. I couldn't believe it. Walked in front of me and Alec Jones in the car. I went, that's that fucking Bob. Alec jumped out of the motor and chased this Bob. This Bob had a bag in his hands, yeah? A tool bag. He threw the tool bag down and run through the station, hopped over the things, barriers, Bob, and run through the lines. And Bob and my mate Alec couldn't catch him. He'd gone. So when Alec come back, he picked the bag up and we looked at the bag, and inside the bag was pornographic pictures of kids. Pornographic pictures in books of kids. Mate, I exploded, yeah, and I phoned up and told her everything, you know. But anyway, she married the guy, and when he got not guilty, when she got his case got not guilty, she divorced him. Within weeks or months, he wasn't even living around there. She divorced him. You know what I mean? And that's the sort of woman I got to part with. You know what I mean? I mean, listen. My boy had a terrible accident, yeah? He nearly died. Fair play, I can't run her down, mate. She looked after my boy like a proper mother should. 10 years my boy was in a wheelchair, yeah? And she changed him and everything, you know. But he pulled out of it, and now he lives in Marlow. He got a lot of money out of the accident, and he lives in Marlow. He's got an house, and he's married, or he doesn't marry, he lives with a girl, and she's had a baby, yeah? So good luck to my son. My son used to have really bad fits. And you know, I just left it at that, you know. And when I done the book, I took all that out of the book because I didn't want anybody to know about it, you know what I mean? I thought, you know, why should I do that? But now I'm doing it because she's making me out to be something that I'm not, yeah? And it's got to be told. She's making me out to be something that I'm not. And it just does me in, mate. It does me in. She's using Yami as a person who they giving Yami the bullets, and Yami's firing them, yeah? Yami ain't got a clue what he's saying. He's making things up like it goes out of fashion. He ain't got a clue, nothing what's going on. He don't know nothing, mate. You know, Yami's a little kid, a boy. He's not got no sense. People like me that work with a big company, yeah, they employed me as mates. I'm their mates, yeah, but they employed me to do things for them. They never done things themselves. So, what them people don't realise, they would never ever have a go at them people about this, that and the other, because they shit themselves. But yet they have a go at me. It don't make no sense to me. You know, He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. He's got worse and worse and worse. I don't know where he's getting all his shit from. You know, I've been in prison most of my life, yeah. Never, ever have I once been done for any sexual offence. Anyway, anywhere, anyway. I've never, ever been done for any ABH, GBH, or whatever it is against a woman. Never, never in all the bird I've done. I work with big, big, heavy people, mate. And I've been in and out of prison in my life. You think that people would... Come on, mate. Please. These people out there, you're so stupid. You're so stupid you can't see anything, mate. You can't see no fur in front of your nose. You know what I mean? One thing I don't muck about like that, mate. Behave yourself out there, yeah? Behave yourself. You know what I mean? You're not, you know... How anybody, you got to remember this, yeah? Anybody, I've been out, I wrote a book, right? This, whatever they're talking about, is supposed to have happened 50 years ago, 50 odd years ago, yeah? 50 odd years ago. Why all of a sudden that I've got a book out, right, that is coming out now? Why didn't this come out a week later when it's supposed to happen? 2 weeks later, a month later, a year later? Why didn't it come out then? If I'm such this bad person that she makes me out to be. I've got more stories to tell you about her, you know what I mean? But she's going to go mad when she gets this. I'm going to go mad. She phones my mate Terry Haley up every day. Every day she phones. Terry's not interested. He is not interested in her silly, silly ways, screaming and shouting down the phone and crying. She's got to stop it. She's got to learn to grow up, mate. She has got to grow up and stop being stupid and act her age, yeah? You know what I mean? Man, she's too much. She's too much. She's a woman who's like a little kid, you know? She's a child. And they're making up stories that you wouldn't believe. It's crazy. It's crazy because they're jealous of me with this book, you know? But I can't imagine, I can't make out, right, that, you know, she wanted me to see my son because of this, you know. And I decided to go to Milo, where she lives. I've been there a few times, yeah. And she decided, come and see your boy. And I decided, okay, I'll go and see him. Me and Terry drove up there in the Range Rover. Was really greeted nice by her and my son. All right, Dad, and all this, that and the other. I don't like her, you know what I mean? I don't like her for what she's done to me in this respect, some things she's done, yeah? But there are lots of other things that you wouldn't believe. But anyway, I'm there with my son, I'm talking to my son, talking to her. We had a really, 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 really good time in the house, you know, cups of tea, talking and bits and bits, something to eat and all this, yeah? And she gave me stuff to take for... you know, my heart, this, that and the other, breathing. She was giving me stuff to drink and all this, that and the other, yeah. And, you know, she's got feelings for me. You know, I thought, yeah, well, you know, whatever. And we left. When I come home, 2 days later, this Yummy B, whatever he is, this little Indian fella, yeah, he, all of a sudden, has got my ex-brother-in-law, Perry, on a video podcast, yeah? I'm watching it, and I can't believe it's Perry. He ain't done me no harm. I can't believe it's my Perry. What? And I used to look after him as a kid, you know? I used to take him everywhere with me, you know what I mean? I can't believe it's Perry. But he's supposed to be dead. He was supposed to be died in a car crash like 20, 30 years ago, something like that, you know? And he died. And what it was, I got done for an armed robbery, yeah? And we went, got away. There was no cameras. No one knew who he was. Nothing. No one knew nothing. No one knew anything. All of a sudden, I'm on a sunbed with Christine, in Christine's place, on a sunbed, under the top part of it, with a screen around it, crash, the door comes in, old Bill. They see me on the sunbed, I've got, my legs are smashed to pieces where the cars hit me, yeah? So they pull me in. But Perry, he'd been done for a robbery, and the shotgun Perry had on top of his wardrobe, he told them everything about what I'd done, yeah? So they knew where to come. They didn't know where I was. They ain't got a clue. They didn't know that I'd done the robbery. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. And I can't believe it, yeah? So, anyway, and then, because Perry, he's working with people, he's supposed to be some sort of grasp, but I don't know, yeah? But she told me that Perry had a car accident and he died, burnt to death or whatever, yeah? Fucking, I can't believe it. But then I see Perry on one of Yammy's videos or podcasts, what Yammy does. What's he doing on there? He's supposed to be dead. I phoned Christine up. Christine, I know, all that crap. And you won't believe what's going on. What's up? I mean, I've just seen your brother, Perry. What? I said, your brother Perry, I've just seen him on a fucking podcast, doing a podcast with someone. You liar. I'm telling you. And then she got on it. I give her the name of Yammy and everything. And straight away, about an hour later, she got on the phone back to me. Yeah, she's right. He's saying about Linda and this and that. What the fuck's going on? What have I done wrong? I told her that Perry, who's supposed to be dead, is alive. And he's been alive they've known he's been alive, but they made out to be he's dead because it's family, isn't it? They make him out to be dead. Anyway, look, I'm not going to keep going to go on and on and on about this, yeah? But what I'm going to say is, yeah, that people out there, use your loaf, yeah? Try and be a little bit, you're supposed to be big people out there, don't listen to Yammy. People who are going to listen to Yammy are people who have been on rehab without Yammy. Yammy's just a person that goes to rehab all the time because he's a drinker, he's a drunk, he takes all sorts of things. And that's Yammy, right? That's what he is. He's at hides, runs, anyway, that's Yammy. But, please look at this, mate. Look at it and say to yourself, is this right? Is this right? Being in, this supposed to happen 50 years ago. Why haven't I been nicked for this GBHs and sticking guns in my arms and doing this and all sorts of things? Why haven't I ever been nicked for this? Why? Why haven't they gone to the police about me? Why? Because it never happened. All these things are a load of cobblers. It never happened. Do you know what I mean? Come on, mate. What they got so against me? Because I wrote a book. You know what I mean? They're jealous. So jealous. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. Being out of prison all my life. I come out of prison. I've been out of prison 13 years. Never ever once have police knocked my door, right? Only about the silly laptops, right? Never once. I've met a girl, people taking the piss. I met a girl in Nigeria. Not only have I met this girl in Nigeria, but she's on my will for everything, the book, the films, everything. Because that's going to happen, yeah? That's going to happen. Films are going to happen. Do you know what I mean? She's on my will. She gets everything from me, mate. I don't care a monkeys about anything else. Of course I care about my kids. But she's ruined it for me. She's took that from me. She's took it all from me because that's what she does. That's what she does. And now she's on Terry's case. And Terry says to me, Ray, whatever did you see in that woman, mate? She is a pain in the butt, mate. She's so mad. She's crazy. She ain't got a clue what she's saying. She gets all tongue-tied, twisted. Ray, leave her alone, mate. I said, leave her alone? Leave her alone. I've not been round her for fucking 30, 40 years. But I meant leave her alone. She's got to leave me alone. I don't want nothing to do with her. Anyway, bang, bang, row, nice one.